Now listen to this. Raila Odinga currently is a man under siege. What exactly is the political future of the ODM party ahead of the 2027 elections? Because apart from the internal conflicts, the divisions within the ODM party, which are mainly caused by the handshake between President William Ruto and Raila Odinga. Because up to date, there are leaders in ODM party who are not really comfortable with Ruto and Raila Odinga working together in the broad-based government ahead of the 2027 elections. Leaders like the Embakasi East member of the National Assembly, Honorable Babu Owino himself, leaders like Edwin Sifuna, and the rest, they are really opposing this particular handshake between Ruto and Raila Odinga. So Professor ANYANG NYONG'O, who is the governor of Kisumu County and also the acting ODM party leader appointed by Raila Odinga himself, has also officially announced that he is not really happy with the roles that he was assigned by Raila Odinga as the acting ODM party leader. Professor ANYANG NYONG'O is already complaining and he wants to step down. And remember that it is about 2 months only since Professor ANYANG NYONG'O was officially appointed by Raila Odinga himself to take charge as the ODM party leader. So basically what we are talking about here is that the ODM party is not really in a very stable condition ahead of the 2027 elections. So Raila Odinga must do something as early as now, despite the fact that Raila Odinga is too busy campaigning for his African Union Commission top job, because the elections will officially be conducted next year on February, about 3 months from now. So even before I read for you this particular statement here that was made by Professor ANYANG NYONG'O, I want us to get to understand, first of all, what exactly are these roles, the duties that Professor ANYANG NYONG'O is complaining about, he is talking about. Because according to this statement here, it says, the ODM party appoints Kisumu Governor, Professor ANYANG NYONG'O, to chair the Central Management Committee, while Raila Odinga campaigns for the African Union Commission chairmanship position. Secretary General of ODM Party, Edwin Sifuna, says. So the only role that is played by Professor ANYANG NYONG'O is to represent Raila Amolo Odinga in ODM Party to chair the Central Management Committee. Raila Odinga cannot do this while he is campaigning for the African Union Commission top job. But according to Professor ANYANG NYONG'O, this particular role here is too much for him and he cannot fit in Raila Odinga's shoe. So just think about it very well. Could this be the only reason or the real reason as to why Professor ANYANG NYONG'O is complaining about? Or there is something else that we are not being told here? Could there be a possible fallout between Professor ANYANG NYONG'O and Raila Odinga? Could there be a possible disagreements between these two leaders here? Or number two, is it because of the internal conflicts, the internal divisions within the ODM party that is causing Professor ANYANG NYONG'O to talk like this, to give up? Because what I'm sure of 100% is that there are leaders within the ODM party who are not supporting Professor ANYANG NYONG'O. They opposed the appointment of Professor ANYANG NYONG'O as the acting ODM party leader. There were some leaders, majority of them in ODM, who wanted Raila Odinga to appoint them. A very good example is someone like Honorable Babu Owino. In fact, Babu Owino had announced in his social media accounts that he wants to be the next ODM party leader to take over from Raila Odinga. There's also someone like Tim Wanyonyi, who is the MP currently in Westland constituency. Someone who is very loyal to Raila Odinga. But despite all these leaders who had already showed their interest in that particular position, Raila Odinga ended up appointing Professor ANYANG NYONG'O because of very many reasons. So Raila Odinga disappointed a lot of leaders in ODM. That is one of the reasons as to why currently ODM party is divided. One of the reasons as to why Raila Odinga appointed Professor ANYANG NYONG'O, it is because, first of all, Professor ANYANG NYONG'O is a Luo, meaning Raila Odinga trusts Professor ANYANG NYONG'O. Raila Odinga feels that his ODM party will be safe in Professor ANYANG NYONG'O's hands because Professor ANYANG NYONG'O comes from Raila Odinga's region. Number two, Professor ANYANG NYONG'O can protect the ODM party without Raila Odinga, meaning the ODM party cannot be hijacked by other politicians ahead of the 2027 elections. And number three, Raila Odinga decided to appoint Professor ANYANG NYONG'O because of the coalition between ODM party and William Ruto's UDA party ahead of the 2027 elections. Remember that someone like Professor ANYANG NYONG'O has a very good working relationship with President William Ruto. ANYANG NYONG'O has been good friends with William Ruto for quite a very long period of time. Let's say, for example, Raila Odinga had appointed someone like Babu Owino. It would be very difficult for ODM and UDA to work together ahead of the 2027 elections because Babu Owino has always opposed President William Ruto, and it is very hard to convince Babu Owino to change his mind because of the handshake between Ruto and Raila Odinga ahead of the 2027 elections. So let me read for you this statement made by Professor ANYANG NYONG'O talking about all these issues. But before that, just a quick reminder that if you're listening to me and you haven't subscribed, I want you to take 1 second or two and subscribe to my channel for you to be able to receive more political updates from this channel like the one that I'm currently doing right now. You can also give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend this video in particular and this channel to reach out to more people, because that is the only way we can improve this channel to grow. So to my returning subscribers, to my loyal viewers, to my supporters, to the members of this channel, thank you so much, and I don't take the support for granted. Having said that, now let us proceed. And I want you to follow this analysis to the end so that you can understand. This is the statement made by Professor ANYANG NYONG'O. Let me just read for you and show you. He says that Raila Odinga's shoes are too big for me to fit into. Now, even before we proceed, that statement alone raises a lot of questions. It creates a lot of speculations. Let me give you a very good example of Professor Kithure Kindiki. Professor Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in officially in the next few days, now that the courts have upheld Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment. And the courts today have declared that the position of the deputy president must not remain vacant. So let's say, for example, Professor Kithure Kindiki today says that the deputy president position is too big for him and he cannot fit in. What exactly can you think? So it is exactly the same thing here. The statement by Professor ANYANG NYONG'O creates a lot of questions. For someone like Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, a very good friend of Raila Odinga, to say something like this, there are reasons behind it. Very many things have happened, and he's still thinking the way forward. What next? First of all, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o making this particular statement, he has officially signaled ODM party exit. It means that Professor Anyang' Nyong'o wants to resign or wants to retire, and this position does not fit him. It could be because this is actually the second term of Professor Anyang' Nyong'o being the governor of Kisumu County. Maybe he wants to officially retire from active politics ahead of the 2027 elections once he retires as the governor of Kisumu County. That could be the first reason. Number two, it means that there could be a possibility that Professor Anyang' Nyong'o did not want this particular position, did not want to be appointed. Raila Odinga forced him into that particular position. That is why he's saying that this particular position here is too big for him to fit in. Raila Odinga did not see somebody else. That is why he decided to choose Professor Anyang' Nyong'o in ODM party. And number three, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o feels that he is not safe in ODM because the political future of the ODM party ahead of the 2027 elections is not really good. ODM party might end up collapsing because of Raila Odinga's official exit from the local politics for his African Union Commission top job. So leaders like Professor Anyang' Nyong'o needs to decide about their political future. The political future of someone like Professor Anyang' Nyong'o is not really good in the ODM party. So let us wait and see how things will turn out to be. I really want to know your thoughts and your opinions concerning this particular statement from Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. What do you think about it? Let me see you again in my next video analysis. But remember to subscribe to this channel for more political updates like this one. My name is Jason. Have a good night. Thank you.